We also have some new information this morning on the murders of those 4 college students in Idaho. Police say a 6th person's name is listed on the lease of the home where the attack happened, but they don't believe that individual was there at the time of the crime. 3 of the 4 victims lived in this rental home with 2 other roommates who were also at home at the time of the killings, but not hurt. Those roommates have been ruled out as suspects. The 4th victim was visiting for the night. NewsNation did look into where their bodies were found, and we received this layout of the home that you see here. All of those who were killed were on the 3rd floor of the house. Police are now reaffirming they believe that this was a targeted attack after saying that they were uncertain. Now, weeks later, there's still no persons of interest, no suspect. NewsNation's Ashleigh Banfield, she's been covering this story extensively every single night on her show. Ashleigh, what is your reaction? What is the significance of this 6th name on the lease, or is it merely a technicality?
Yeah, we're sort of trying to figure that one out. But I will say, Adrienne, that we've always wondered about the 6th bedroom. There were 6 bedrooms in this house and only 5 roommates. 4 people were killed, but one of the people who was killed was sleeping over. That was Ethan Chapin. I just want to ask your control room, though, if they could pop up that 2nd floor design, that layout, too, because that's the floor right there, the 1st floor, Adrienne, where the 2 survivors were discovered. This is the 2nd floor. Over on the right-hand side, that's actually where we believe Ethan and Xana were found. And this 3rd floor layout, we believe, is where 2 of the victims were, Kaylee and Maddie. But now we know in one of the bedrooms, they weren't in either of their bedrooms. Both girls were in one of the bedrooms and in one bed. So as far as the 6th roommate goes, we can tell you that we believe that Kaylee was in the process of moving out. She was about to graduate in January. She'd already lined up a job and she'd bought herself a Range Rover. And the word was that she was coming over to the house to show her best friend, Maddie, her new silver Range Rover. And it even had temporary plates on it. So the theory that she may have been moving out, got the new car, was about to get the new job, does square. But does that mean that someone else was about to move in, a 6th roommate on the lease? Or does it mean there was somebody who actually signed up for that 6th bedroom, which we believe, if you pop that 2nd floor map up again, is the room across from the kitchen. There's the 1st floor again, and then watch for the 2nd floor. You'll see the kitchen will be on the right at the back of the house, and then that green room C, that's the room that we believe is unoccupied. I will say this, Adrienne, it's very, very sad. We do know that someone was killed on that 2nd floor, in that 2nd floor bedroom on the right-hand side of the house, because that back wall of the bedroom is the outside wall where we have now seen the very, very horrific scenes of blood actually leaking outside of the house from the floor of that 2nd bedroom on the right-hand side of the house, down that foundation. So bodies on the 2nd floor, we believe Ethan and Xana in that far bedroom, and bodies on the 3rd floor. That would be Kaylee and Maddie, but we don't know which bedroom. Kaylee's on the right-hand side on the 3rd floor, or Maddie's on the left-hand side of the 3rd floor.
Oh, my goodness. You know, Ashleigh, Brian Entin, he did interview police and the DA. Police have gone back and forth as to whether this is targeted or not. I guess they're now saying, yes, it's targeted, and then the DA is saying likely not. So let's listen to this sound.
The investigators believe that whoever's responsible was specifically looking at this particular residence, but that's all that they can offer at this point.
So maybe the location was targeted, but you've said you do not, or maybe you question whether or not this was a targeted attack. Why?
I'll tell you what, Brian Entin and I work on this story every day for about 14 hours a day, and he and I are confused. So that should tell you something. I can just tell you what they have put out publicly. At the very beginning of this case, of course, everybody in Moscow, Idaho, the university campus, they were terrified. There's a deranged mass murderer on the loose. Somebody went and stabbed 4 people to death. It's a personal, horrendous, violent crime. So right away, the police said, let's pull it back a notch. This is a targeted attack, which was supposed to perhaps put the community at ease. Then they walked that back somewhat because they wouldn't say why. They wouldn't say why they thought it was a targeted attack. Understandably, they're investigating. They said that was part of the investigation. Then the interviews with the prosecutor started coming in. Brian Entin asked him very specifically about that, and he said, you know, maybe targeted isn't the best word to use. It could be the house that was targeted or the people inside, 1 or 2 or 3, but we're not sure. Well, then that was an awkward change to the wording. And then that prosecutor did an interview with KTVB in Boise, Idaho, and said one person in the house was targeted. Well, that's a massive development in the story. But only hours after that tweet went out to promote that interview was coming, the city of Moscow said the police are putting out clarification again and saying we don't even know, if the house or the people inside were targeted. Well, now everybody got into a real panic, like targeted isn't even the issue anymore. And yet again, last night, another clarification. The final clarification may have been an issue of semantics, Adrienne, and that is that, let's walk that one back. We do know there's a targeting, 100%. It's a targeted attack. What we don't know is if it's the house or the people. So hopefully that provides some clarity, but it's been very, very difficult for the journalists covering the story moment to moment, let alone the people who live there and the kids on campus and the parents who send their kids there or may have sent their kids back there after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And again, the thought that this person, whoever did this, is walking among them and they just have no idea.
That part we know. That part we know. 100% we know. Maybe the targeted issue has been confusing, but we know for sure that person is still out there somewhere.
Yeah. Ashleigh Banfield, thank you, and we'll enjoy your show. You can watch Banfield every night, every weeknight at 10/9 Central Time. On Sunday night, don't forget to tune into our special report, Idaho Murder Mystery. Senior national correspondent Brian Entin live in Moscow, Idaho, with more stories of those people there who are dealing with this, the search for this killer, Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern, only on NewsNation.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.